What if I told you there's a way you can get fit, learn a language, and have fun all at the same time? Well, check this out.
I wouldn't believe you.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I was robbed by two men. I was robbed by two men.
Oh dear, maybe not. I think I'm going to need some aspirin. Welcome to the world of Eikaiwa Taiso Speak in English. Quite literally, English conversation exercise through voluntary muscle English. It rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
Don't say a word.
Speak in English has been something of an internet meme for many years now, and let's face it, it's not hard to see why. I first came across this language learning miracle 6 years ago when producing a series on this channel called Losing Weight in Japan. An unsurprisingly ill-fated series in which I tried to lose 10 kilograms in 10 weeks. Needless to say, the only thing I lost at the time was my dignity.
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Now at the time, I just assumed it was some weird one-off special TV show that was a parody or something. You know, who would make this? But it turns out there's far more to it than a bad case of diarrhea, because there are 24 episodes of Speak in English, each one introducing exciting and new English phrases from everyday life and situations in the English-speaking world.
I can't stand the sight of you. I can't stand the sight of you. I can't stand the sight of you.
I mean, this was a real TV show that somebody had spent money on and broadcast on Fuji television at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, imagine waking up, 4:30 a.m. You dive into the shower, you grab your morning coffee.
Mark Wahlberg
Then,
hours.
when the clock strikes 5,
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Speaking English, psycho.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
honestly, the more you learn about speaking English, the more absurd that it gets. So today we'll discover why this is one of the most ridiculous TV shows you will ever see, including the questionable English phrases they taught, which came riddled with some pretty sinister undertones at times.
Hand me your bag.
Take anything you want.
And finally, we'll test the show out on a real-life Japanese man who, to be fair, took it incredibly seriously. Now, morning exercise is pretty popular in Japan, as it is in Asia in general, with radio taiso, literally radio calisthenics, being barked out of a speaker for workers to perform in the morning before the workday begins. But Speak in English was created against this backdrop. The show was comprised of 3 stages. It would start with a practical setting, where top-rate actors, both Japanese and foreign, acted out a dramatic scene with powerful, raw emotions.
Oh, Miss Inayoshi, I'm so glad you could make it.
Top-rate actors, the best in the business. Then one of the characters would be utterly distraught at their lack of English knowledge.
まずはなんて言うんだったっけ?
And finally, enter our heroes, the Zuikin girls.
Thank you for inviting me tonight.
I'll admit though, my favourite scenes aren't the Zuikin girls, they're the Zuikin boys, who execute the dances with an unmatched level of enthusiasm.
You look sensational in that dress. You look sensational in that dress.
I'd hire them
Yeah,
for a
look
music
at
video.
them go. Seriously, it looks like the camera crew burst into a bar, pointed at 3 drunk salarymen in the corner and went, fuck it, yeah, you'll do.
You look sensational in that dress.
You've got to give them some credit at least for getting involved and delivering those sick moves. It all seems like harmless fun, but at times it does have some pretty sinister undertones to it all. In this episode, a character goes on holiday and then she's jumped by 2 shady men with flawless disguises.
Shut up. Don't say a
It's like a
word.
little Bo Peep.
Don't move. If you do, I'll kill you.
I mean,
Jesus.
it's 5 o'clock in the morning. That's a little bit strong, isn't it?
Take anything you want. Take anything you want.
It's all right, they're dancing. Take anything you want.
Take anything you want.
Yeah. Rewind though, wait a minute, go back. Let's take a look at those ferocious criminal masterminds.
Take anything you want.
Hand me your bag.
Oh, I wonder who the robber could be. It's a bit difficult to give a character description to the police. What with the completely unobstructed view of his face. And wait a minute, isn't that Jason Alexander from Seinfeld? What's going on there then?
I was robbed by 2 men. I was robbed by 2 men.
And if you're wondering what in the
was
world
on
of
by
fuck this guy is wearing, bit of cultural trivia for you. While in the West our stereotype image of a burglar is this or this, in Japan they look more like this. They wear a bandana called a hokamuri. It's typically worn by farmers, but in this case it's tied up into what can only be described as the world's worst disguise. Now, credit where it's due to the show. There's scarcely a real-life situation that isn't covered in Zweikin English's extensive list of vocabulary. From being robbed by Jason Alexander to having highly specific medical emergencies brought on by a bad case of diarrhea.
I am allergic to penicillin.
Oh, penicillin. Oh, very specific.
Yeah.
Okay,
My mom is too.
please explain your symptoms in detail as much as possible. I cannot treat you until I know more about your
何言ってん
system.
の？あ、もうお腹痛いし言葉わかんないし、誰か日本語話せる人いないの？
You know, for somebody who delivered the phrase
I am allergic to penicillin.
with surprising ease and fluency, she does give up very easily, doesn't she?
Until I know more
誰か
about your
何言ってん
system.
の？
Essentially, a Japanese Karen. Another eyebrow-raising expression involves 2 characters who've just watched a film, and the girl has trouble choosing her words to describe how she felt at the ending of the movie.
The climax scene really got to me.
The climax scene really got me.
Sorry, what exactly were they watching?
Me. The climax scene really got me.
So what are the 2 reasons that Zweikin English is fatally flawed? And let's face it, I think I'm being a little bit generous with just 2 reasons. Flaw number 1 is exaggerated knowledge. Imagine if you've watched, God forbid, a full season of this show. You know all the phrases, you know all the dances and techniques. You're going to have some pretty gaping holes in your knowledge the day you inevitably get robbed by 2 men. Oh, what? You okay, sir?
Yeah,
You okay? What happened?
I was robbed by 2 men.
2 men?
Yeah.
Robbed you? Good God, what do they look like?
I was robbed by 2 men.
Yes. What were their faces? What do they look like?
Huh? I was robbed by 2 men.
We've established there were 2 men, sir.
I was robbed by 2 men.
We're not really getting anywhere, are we, sir?
Spare me my life.
Yes.
Spare me my life. Spare me my life.
Okay, it's
Spare me my life.
all rather strange. Was it
Spare
by
me
any
my
chance this man?
Yeah, the man.
Jason Alexander. I thought it might be.
Yeah. I have a bagus of dahlia. I have a bagus of dahlia. I have a bagus of dahlia. I have a bagus
Okay.
of dahlia.
So the whole premise of Zweikin English is that as you move your body, as you move your muscles, you're able to retain and memorise phrases a lot easier. That's the whole sort of genius of the Zweikin English concept. But let's call it out for what it is, utter bollocks. But surely for the viewers of the show who are learning these phrases, these really important phrases, they're probably going to need to reenact the dance, or certainly reenact the pattern of which the words are said to recollect the phrase. And God forbid the day that you need to use any of these actual phrases. The blood tests tell a rather worrying story, Natsuki. You have a severe allergic reaction to something. We don't know what it is, but we need to know, or you will die in 24 hours. Now, for the last time, what drug are you allergic to?
I have an allergy to
Two.
allergy. あー、わかんない。
We need to know.
Difficult.
You remember?
I remember.
Oh, good.
I am allergic to penicillin.
Penicillin.
Yeah,
Penicillin.
I am allergic to penicillin. I am allergic to penicillin.
Yes.
I am allergic to penicillin. I am allergic to penicillin.
I'm very, very scared.
Penicillin.
Very scared.
Penicillin.
Penicillin!
Despite these flaws, Natsuki did actually get pretty worn out doing the fitness aspect of it, but the memorization component
Too much
definitely didn't
smoking.
work.
I am allergic to penicillin. I am allergic. I am allergic to penicillin. I am allergic to penicillin.
How do you feel?
Heavy exercise.
Heavy exercise?
Heavy exercise.
表現覚えてる？
覚えてる？なんだっけ？I have a back to back.
It didn't work, did it? No, it
あ、フレーズがわかんない。
Oh no! Now, I've always been amazed at the lengths people in Japan go to learn the English language. There's no country in the world, I suspect, that has as many resources about learning English as Japan. I mean, take this book, the old Tadashi Fuck no Tsukaikata, one of my favourite books, The Correct Way to Use Fuck, which teaches you sentences in context with various characters and figures throughout world history. One of my favourite series of Japanese English textbooks, Shiken ni denai tango, literally the words that don't appear in the English exams. Barbed wire. You know, sometimes I like to look up at the stars and picture an alternate universe where Zwick English took off, became popular, and dominated TVs and fitness regimes throughout the land.
Miss Inayoshi, I'm so glad you could make it.
Although, to be fair, it's an alternate universe that I'm glad I'm not in. Zwick English ended after only one season, an undeniable tragedy. As to the people who watched Zwick English, we'll never really know how many embraced its teaching methods. What I want to see is a documentary about the Zwick boys. Where are they now? What happened? What happened to them after they did that? In the meantime, I encourage you to watch an entire episode of Zwick English online on YouTube and see the profound effect it has on your health, you know, both physical and mental. As
I
for
am
me, thus
allergic to
concludes one of the weirdest
penicillin.
videos
I was robbed
I've
by
ever
2
made.
men.
As always, for more behind the scenes stuff, check out the Abroad Japan Patreon. But for now, guys, as always, many thanks for watching. I'll see you next time right here on the Abroad Japan channel. And as for me, well, I've got a case to solve.
Fine, Jason Alexander.
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
I have bad case of diarrhea.
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 I have a bad case of diarrhea.
え
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Yeah, I have a bad case of